Hi everybody, my name is Carrie. Thank you so much for being here. This is my channel where I like to share the crafty goodness that I get into. Most of it's going to be knitting and quilting, but every once in a while there's a new craft thrown in. Today is primarily knitting. It's all knitting. I appreciate you being here. I know I've had an uptick in subscribers, so welcome to all the new people. I'll just a little background because I haven't said it in a while. My name is Carrie. I live just outside of Portland, Oregon. And yeah, thanks for coming along on this wonderful ride of creativity. I last recorded my Rhinebeck recap, so if you saw that, thanks for watching, and if you chose not to, this will be a regular episode, and I will just show some of the makes that I'm doing. So I did the Halloween bingo with the Fiber Hustle, and did that last weekend, and it was a lot of fun. I dressed up as Beetlejuice, which was fun. I like to try and do something that changes my appearance to the point where people don't know who I am on the screen. So that's really fun. So it was really fun to do. Jim helped me with my hair. We just got some hair. I got hairspray, and because I don't have hairspray, I never use hairspray. And I didn't think I had a blow dryer either, but I do have one that I use for crafting to dry paint. So I pulled that one out. But he just would pull my hair out, spray it, and then I'd hit it with the blow dryer while he's holding it out to get it to just be messy and kind of sticking out. It felt so gross, but it was effective. And then I used green camo paint and stuck that in my hair, and white face paint, blackened my eyes and stuff, and just got kind of grungy looking. And I think I did pretty good, and it looked really good, and it was a lot of fun. I did end up winning a prize, which was pretty exciting. It was the very last game. They were going to quit, and they're like, okay, let's just do one more. I had one number left, and it happened to be the number they called. So that was exciting, and I won an errand bag from the Scrappy Angel. So she is going to be making that and sending it to me, so I will show that on the next time that I record. So that was really fun. I enjoy doing that dress up, especially if I don't have to go anywhere. So, it's a lot of fun to do, and some of the costumes were just really, really good. People just got into it, and it was a lot of fun. So I did that, and it's just been kind of, business as usual around here. It is early in the morning. It's just starting to get light out. It's really, really raining pretty hard today. Supposed to get a really big storm. Well, I think it's here, but we should get some higher winds later today. So I'm hoping that I can get this recorded and uploaded before we possibly lose power. Probably won't, but I'm always prepared, and so hopefully that goes as planned. I did record this yesterday, but the volume, the audio was horrible. It was super staticky, and I don't know why. So I'm doing it as take 2 today. So yeah, so let's get into it. Same quilt that I had on last time. I think I've had that up there for a little while. It's very fall feeling. Made that years ago. I do have plans, and I pressed a bunch of fabric the other day for my next quilt. So that was the plan today, was to start cutting that out and working on it. But I think today's going to be an editing day, so we'll see. I'll get it started, and I'll have something to show next time. I'm pretty excited about it. I want to get that started because it's a pattern that I've wanted to make. But it's also the beginning of November, and if I'm going to make any holiday gifts, I got to get my button gear because I'm running out of time, and I have no idea. Some years I'm last year I was so good. I got started really early. I had all these ideas. This year, I have no idea. It's really hard. I like to give gifts. I like to give handmade gifts. That just gives me a lot of joy. And it's really hard because, for the most part, we've all got everything we need. So to try and think of something that maybe somebody doesn't have, but maybe still wants, it's pretty hard. But I'm starting to get a few ideas. Any suggestions? Put them down below. I'm always open for suggestions. Okay, today I am wearing my Star Shower cowl that I made with yarn that I got from Needles at the Ready. Kevin dyed, this was You're Turning Violet Violet, which I don't know that he has in his shop anymore, but it's a great color. It's a great color for me. And the pattern is Star Shower by Hillary Smith Callis. And yeah, just kind of a open lace kind of cowl. These are my favorite styles because I don't have to fuss with them. Shawls always fall off. These work for me. And I love Hillary's patterns. I've made the Aki cowl several times from her. I'm kind of jonesing to do another one pretty soon. Maybe after the holidays. Who knows? It's one of those good ones to just have like kind of like you have socks on the needle sort of a thing. Okay, so let's get into, I gotta go get my one and only finished object. I'll be right back. Okay, I have one finished object, and it is my hat. This is the Midas hat by, let me look it up, Laura Reinbach. So appropriate that I knit this while I was in Rhinebeck by Lauren Reinbach. Whatever. Anyway, this is, it's a free pattern. This is my fourth one I've made. I really, really enjoy making it. I do mine with a contrasting brim. It is a double brim. I don't know how else to say it. You knit what's going to be on the inside, which I chose this color, which was a Hedgehog Mini. And then you do a purl row, turn it under, start knitting your hat. You don't have to do contrasting inside, but I just like that little extra touch. And then because it's a provisional cast on, then you join it at a certain point, and then you just knit, and it's a single layer the rest of the hat. I really like this style of hat. I don't care for like a ribbed hat so much because I never fold it up and all that. And being that it's just a single layer up here is plenty for me. I don't live in a super cold climate. We get chilly, and I did wear this the other day when I took Violet for a walk in the morning because it was a little breezy. But with the double layer right here, that's where I get cold, is my ears and stuff, because I don't have any hair there. And so this just works out really nice. When it's on my head, it doesn't have that much slouch. It's probably more like that. But you could stop it early. I know my friend Ray from Needles at the Ready just finished his, and he doesn't have as much slouch. He stopped it a little bit early, and it still looks really good. So it's kind of in your preference. This yarn was a self-striping from Two Sisters yarn company called Cool Beans. Don't know if they still have it. This was a gift to me, and I have 51 grams left. I don't know how much the skein weighed when I started, because sometimes you get the 100-gram skeins, but they're really like 105 or something. But I have 51 grams left. So I could make another hat, which could be really good to give as a gift. I have 7 grams left of a 20-gram mini, so it used about 13 grams to do the inside of the brim. I think this was a 10 gram or 20 gram mini. Maybe it was, no, I used more than 3 grams. Anyway, I have some left over of this. The color matched the pink in the stripes so perfectly that what I like about doing the contrasting brim is that pearl bump gives you that little highlight of color. It happened to match the hat so well, it just looks like it's just part of the self-striping. But I also thought I might try, there is a tab shorty sock, with the little back tab that I kind of wanted to try. So I might try and make some shorty socks with this. And then I don't know if I have enough of this to do something with that, like the toe or something. So, excuse me, really great hat. It's a very mindless, like once you get going on, like even the inside of the brim, that's just knitting. It's all just knitting. And I found that to be the project that I grabbed most often when I was traveling and went to Rhinebeck on the plane and the airport, all that stuff, because it was just easy and I could just sit there and do it and listen to whatever I was listening to. I did also bring a pair of socks that I had started while I was traveling. I thought, you know, between the two, I could have those available to me on the airplane. I was going to do the Joji Locatelli single skein shawl, had just come out right before I left to go to Rhinebeck. But thank you, Louise, who said not good airplane knitting. I'm like, okay, good to know. We'll put that aside and maybe do that another time. It has some stitches that I think are a little more challenging, and I thought, I don't need that. I need it to be as simple as possible because I don't like to fly, and I need to just be able to like be zen and not get frustrated. So I thought, let me try this sock pattern that I've been hearing. It is the Magic Heel Sock by the Autumn Acorn. Sorry. And I thought, okay, that seems interesting. And basically it's a stockinette sock, but instead of doing a cut-in heel or a heel flap and gusset, you do a ribbed heel. You just do ribbing around the heel part. And I thought, okay, let me try it. So I wound up some yarn, got it started so that I didn't have to cast on while I was traveling, and I knit on that. I got most of the way done with the ribbing. So here's the sock. This yarn doesn't have a name. It was given to me by my friend Rob, and there's no name. But I thought, oh, what a lovely, like, bright, cheery color. That'll help me get through the airport and the traveling situation. And then you do this ribbing at the heel. So it's all going great. And I got to the part where I still had about another inch or so to go on the heel part. And I thought, let me try it on and just see how this fits. And it is so tight. I can't wear it. So I pulled my needles out because I'm going to rip this out and just do a regular sock. I don't know if it's the pattern or if it was me being tense while I was traveling that maybe I knit a little bit tighter. It's hard to say. It is a paid for pattern. You get multiple pages that just tell you how to do striped socks. I feel like that was kind of a waste. I'm disappointed in the pattern. I didn't feel like I got what I paid for, but nonetheless, supported a designer and whatever. I just don't think this is for me. Like I said, it could be me that this is tighter just because of being a little more anxious while I was knitting, but I mean, this looks normal, and I just think this isn't enough. I do have a high arch, which gives me a high instep, but this was like really, really tight. So that pattern didn't work for me. It seems to work for a lot of people because there's a lot of people that are making it. I don't want to discourage you from trying it because sometimes it's nice to try things and sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's not going to break the bank. It was like a $4 pattern or something, but it was like, 8 pages long, and I really only needed to print out 1 page. And I printed out my work so I didn't have to have like my tablet open or whatever. I could just like look at a pattern or something. So I did the same thing with a Midas hat to just know the measurements and when I was supposed to start decreasing and stuff. So I didn't have to have anything but just my knitting bag. So that was kind of a fail. It was definitely a fail. It's okay. It gave me something to do while traveling, gave me something different than my hat, but the hat was really what I knit on pretty much the whole time when I did sit down and knit. And so while I was preparing to go, I thought, okay, so socks and a hat, that can't nearly be enough, right? I mean, I gotta have more choices. It's just how I roll, folks. It's just how I roll. So I decided to cast on a cowl, and I'm knitting the Snuggle Down cowl. This is by So Sweet Violet, who is Jules Hill, and it uses minis. You don't have to. I think it is written to use like if you got mini advents or something like that. And I'm holding it with a mohair. So the mini set that I'm using is a box of crayons by Polka Dot Creek. They're 10-gram minis, and it's basically it's basically the rainbow but speckled and not solidly dyed. So here are some that are going to go in it that I haven't used yet. So I wound up however many balls. I think the pattern's written to use like 8 or 9 different colors. So it makes a pretty tall cowl. And then I had this, just this white mohair. It is mohair, but it's not very much mohair. So this is Diablo from Hobby Yarns, and it is 30% mohair, 30% nylon, and 40% acrylic. So it's got very little mohair in it. It feels very soft. I've never knit with mohair, so I thought, well, this could be a good trial of it. And if I feel like it's, you know, not for me, it feels soft. It could be a really nice gift. So it may end up being that. But I'm starting my 5th color. So I'm going with orange. I'm not doing it in any sort of order. I'm just sort of picking, making sure I don't duplicate the color before, because there's like 2 different shades of blue. There's this orange and then a yellow, so those are very similar. So just trying to mix it up. It's just got a rolled edge. Very, very nice travel knitting, TV knitting. It's basically just stockinette and then a couple rows of like a passed over type stitch to give it a little bit of texture. So this has been really fun to work on. I'm okay with the mohair so far. When I first cast it on, I was going to do it on the plane. And I first cast it on, like I said, I tried to get things cast on, so I wasn't trying to do that while traveling. And I'm getting like this, you know, the mohair fluff, and I thought, I can't have that on the plane. Because what if the person next to me is like, thanks for knitting next to me, you know? So I put it in my suitcase, and then I actually never touched it the whole time that I was gone. And so this has all been done since I got back, which has been good, like knit night knitting, you know, TV knitting. Like I said, this has been really a nice pattern. It's an older pattern, but you know, I'm always late to the party. It's funny because I don't ever want to do what's like the hot, like jump on the bandwagon kind of thing. But then I get FOMO because then I'm like, well, I want to do it too. So that's the Gemini in me, I think. I play both sides. Because I was really close to doing the Stephen West MCAL this year, because it was like all the hype, and I'm like, well, I want to do that, I want to have fun, and I had colors picked out, and it was just like, no, I'll never wear it. I don't like mysteries, but you get caught up in all of that hype, and I'm really glad I didn't, because I don't really care for it. So, you know. Something else I've been working on, which I keep in my lovely Scrappy Angel box, doesn't have a name yet. This is a prototype, so not quite available yet. But I am using my colorway that I got while I was gone on the trip, and I went to Woolen Folk, which was an event on the Friday before Rhinebeck, before New York Sheep and Wool in Rhinebeck. And this is Woolens and Nosh. It's the Earth Tones Girl collaboration in the colorway Falling in Love. And I loved this color. I loved the fact that she had samples knitted up so you could see what it looks like. This is a beautiful fall color. I love the fact that it's got the pinks and you know, more rosy tones to it. So I decided to try a pattern which has been in my library. I bought it years ago. It's the Vanilla is the New Black. And basically it's a stockinette sock with just a unique heel. So I've already turned the heel, and you basically are doing increases in a rib. So you make this like triangled rib, and then you turn it. So I did turn it, and I thought this was really cool for self-striping because it doesn't really interrupt the striping. It did a little bit, as you can see now that I'm going back around on the front side. The stripes are narrow and maybe a little out of order because the heel turn took one of the colors. But very little interruption, and I'm fine with it. I don't need them to look store-bought. So I did slip my foot in it once I got to the point of turning the heel, and it seems like it's going to fit. So I'm going to keep going, and now it's just a matter of knitting the foot, doing the toe, which that's like the easy part. So it was nice because I didn't have to pick up any stitches or do anything like that. You just do this, like I followed the chart, and the pattern has a chart and written instructions. So I followed the chart and did all these increases, and then you're just doing a heel turn kind of like you normally do. So I'm excited to get this finished and really try it on, but I think it might be a good pattern, especially for self-striping. And I love working with Woolens and Nosh's sock yarn. It's a Targhee, is it 90% Targhee and nylon? It's very nice. And then the last thing that I worked on, this is going to be a super short episode because I don't have a ton. I just kind of wanted to pop in. I'm working on my dotted rays. I am so close to being done. I already moved my marker because, like I said, I recorded yesterday and then I moved my marker, but you'll get the idea. So, oh shoot, did I stop in the middle of a row? Oh my goodness, I don't ever do that. Probably because it was knit night and I was like, we were done and I just put it away. But let me get this turned the right way so I can show it. This I'm making, this is a Stephen West pattern. Making it with yarn that my friend Erin of the Fiber Hustle dyed and gave me. The colorways don't have any name. I just knit till I practically ran out of yarn, switched colors, knit till I pretty much ran out of yarn, didn't feel like I could make another whole row. And then this last color is a color that I dyed because I wanted to make the bigger version, which needed 3 skeins. And so I dyed that. So I am doing, you can see that I'm doing this contrasting color. It is this eyelet row, which you can see better against this color. I'll do that and then an I-cord bind off. So I am really close. I'm in the home stretch. It's going to take a while because there's a lot of stitches. Like, I don't know, 450, 500 stitches, something like that on it. So an I-cord bind off on that's going to take a little while. I will bind off in this dark purple color, so that'll set off this eyelet row pretty well. And yeah, then that'll be done. And I'm hoping that I'll just kind of use it like a blanket, like, or you know, just sort of wrap over my shoulders in the evening if I get chilly. I don't get that cold, so I don't know that I'll wear it like wrapped around in a shawl form because I just won't. That's too bulky. Goodness gracious, that's all I have. Wow, this is going to be really short. Anyway, that's okay. I try and keep them about a half hour or less because that's easy to digest. I do watch some of the longer podcasts, but I have to watch them in segments, so I figure other people have to do that too. So this one you can just do all in one swoop, like on your lunch hour or something. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everybody that joins in and watches and comments and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you probably in a few weeks. I got to get some stuff going so I have something to show. But thank you again for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.